If you want to upload nicely edited things to YouTube whilst having limited wristability, it helps to have a voice recognition profile for your video editor. I'll be demonstrating this in the old Windows Movie Maker, which has been discontinued, but it will work for the demonstration. The key thing is to find out all the keyboard shortcuts you can for splitting video, splitting audio, moving forward and back by frames, and playing and pausing the video. You then add in pressing the cursor keys various numbers of times to move between clips, and have some mouse clicking and mouse movement commands for dragging media items into place. You will need to put in cutting, copying and pasting, which VoiceBot doesn't let you do easily because these are system commands. However, if you just tell it to hold down the control key, press the relevant key, then release the control key, it gets by VoiceBot's restriction. There may also be tabs and menus for sliders and options to select. For this you will probably need Auto Hotkey to note down the relevant coordinates. VoiceAttack can do relative mouse coordinates within the window, VoiceBot cannot. But as I tend to do my video editing with the editor at full screen, it would use the same coordinates in both cases. I find it helps to set your coordinate in the middle of the clickable item, just in case you occasionally want to have the editor across the top of the screen but not at full screen, and that way you shouldn't miss. I have added some default commands for selecting fading in or out from black, activating the audio fading in or out, and choosing the video speed. For those last two, I use my cursor key presses and pressing the Enter key in order to make my selection. Splitting the currently selected media in Windows Movie Maker can be done by pressing M, but if you have separate video and audio tracks, you will need to be aware of which one you are on before you split it. The way I avoided confusion was to have the separate commands Split Music and Split Video, which will click on the appropriate tabs and then click on the Split button in each tab. I then added the command Split Both, which splits the video and then the audio, which was necessary when my microphone recordings were in the audio track. It's impossible to come up with a general explanation, because it is dependent upon the video editor you use, how you record your video, and the level of editing you want to do. But a good rule is, if you need to select something more than once every 20 minutes, you should aim to make a macro for it. A good starting point is to figure out and encode the relevant mouse coordinates or key presses needed to get you to activate something, and then figure out whether your existing commands enable you to do it fast enough for you to not get impatient, or alternatively if you need to add in a few more commands. Assuming you keep making videos to the same level of precision and editing, you'll be using a mostly fixed set of actions and can therefore put a good deal of them into macros. At the same time, you will need to be aware of the limitations of your video editor. For example, if I have a series of separated music clips and then delete one of the earlier ones, Windows Movie Maker will then bunch up all the tracks that came after that, ruining the positioning. To get around that, I have to physically move it to the end of the audio track before deleting it. It also has difficulty letting you get to a particular time point in the video, in that you can't type in a particular number of minutes and seconds. And it is not optimal for shifting an audio track to a precise point using just your voice, as I often have to do in my demonstrations and RSI live tips. Because of this, there is benefit in recording your voice recognition and video simultaneously, so long as you have done a few test recordings to make sure that you have the right volume balance between the two.